This morning's episode is Focused to Arrive. Without focus, we're not going to arrive at our destination. When we go on a vacation, even for a short trip, we take the time to make a plan. Where are we going? What are we going to do when we get there? What do we need to bring? What do we need to take? What route do we need to take? How are we going to get there? Are we going to drive? Are we going to fly? Are we going to go by boat? How much is it going to cost? How much time is it going to take? Are we going there for pleasure or business or a bit of both? These are very simple questions for just a vacation. Yet we have to make these decisions before we even decide on where we're going to go. Could you imagine taking a trip without having any plans whatsoever? If we would have just got in the car and decided, okay, let's go here, and we hadn't packed or anything, it's kind of unthinkable that we would even do that. It's the same with our business destination. If we don't focus on where we're going to go, how are we going to get there? Hi, I'm Chris Tresice. I've been a marketing and design solopreneur for over 20 years, and I've been in marketing and sales for even longer. One of the things that's my big problem is I'm a shiny new object guy. If there's a new tool out there, I'm trying to find it. How am I, how's this going to fit into my plan? Will this work for me? And all these kind of things. And what I found out is without a focus, without having a clear focus of where you're going, how you're going to get there, what do you need to bring in order to make that happen, you just don't arrive. So in business, I've had to learn a lot of important lessons in that regard. So one of the things that makes staying focused really simple is a list. Making a list of what you're going to be doing, when you're going to do it, putting it on the calendar, why are you doing it. Lists can be a very valuable tool, especially for those that just like to check off things. So I'm very much a person that just likes to check off things. But apart from lists, how do you know what to put on the list? So, and I got to give I learned this from my wife. I had a heart attack back in 2020. And my wife is a prayer warrior, and she had everybody praying for my health and wellness and making it through this. And I remember going to get surgery. My heart was so weak after my heart attack that I couldn't even have surgery after it. I had to actually come back for surgery like a couple of weeks later. So, and again, I don't remember anything that happened. This was all stories that people have told me. I don't even remember coming home, but that's a different story. But when I went back for surgery, the guy that checked me in knew who I was. I mean, he had been praying for me. And so that gave me a real sense of the power of prayer. I'd always had prayer as part of my daily routines and things like that, but I didn't realize the power of it until that time. Most of the decisions that I made were just kind of more of a gut feeling. Yes, I've prayed many times for answers, but I really focused on using prayer or including prayer in all of my decisions. So the way I look at it, I mean, a lot of people think prayer, even the whole religion thing, and if that's not for you, that's fine. Doing these practices just with a focused mind is better than no focus at all. But for me, it was really difficult for me to make decisions. Like I said, I'm a shiny new object guy. So I instituted prayer, or started using or having prayer in my life a whole lot more in the last few years. And it's really helped me in staying focused. It's helped me to know what I needed to work on, how I needed to work on it, in what order, all of these things. And you're saying, Chris, how does prayer do that for you? Well, first of all, I think of prayer as a membership or as a a privilege that I get to talk to the best business consultant, the best personal coach, the best relationship coach, the best um, any kind of coach you can possibly think of. That's what God is to me. Um, and the difference between this relationship is he knows me raw and real. He knows everything about me. He knows all my weaknesses. He knows my strengths. He knows what I'm working on. He knows my fears. And so it takes the relationship, and that's what it is. It's a relationship. You can't just plug into prayer and expect anything to work. Think of it like this. What if you had a business consultant that, let's say you wanted to have an appointment with Tony Robbins, and today you just pick up the phone and try to call Tony Robbins. What would be the likelihood that you would get through? Probably zero. But if you started a relationship with his organization, starting with this and starting with that, over time you'd get closer and closer and closer to Tony Robbins. So with this, it's the same thing. God wants a relationship with us in the same way. We have to understand ourselves in this process. So prayer has become a big part of my decision making. And what I do is I basically every day I journal, and then in those journals I talk about what are my problems that I'm facing, what meetings am I having, what new projects or new projects are coming up, and how do I evaluate this book versus that book, or this software versus that software. And I mean, miraculously, through this relationship, I get those answers. I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning with a whole different script that I was going to talk about, but I felt like this was more important. So this is why I'm talking about this morning. This is a journey for all of us. This is day 2 of my podcast. I'm recording all these while I'm on vacation, and then when I get back, I'm going to dress them up, edit them, add some stuff to it and things like that. But I wanted to set these as a task. If I felt obligated or if I felt accountable to do these while I was on vacation, that I would do them. So this is what I'm doing, and so far it's working. But like anything, it's a new job, and with me, I try to be as good at the job as I possibly can. So I meditate on it. How can I do a better job? What am I going to have to do today? How do I say this? How do I do that? So I hope you'll take me for the essence of what I'm putting together. I'm kind of going off script this morning, and I'm a bit of a rambler when I do that. So I hope you'll appreciate or forgive me for that as well. And appreciate it, but that's what I'm trying to do. I want you to understand that my heart is to help you with whatever you're dealing with, and that I'm hoping that some of the things that I'm going through can benefit you. We're all on a journey. My journey is unique from your journey, but there are similarities in how we get to our destination. So I hope that these will help you in kind of stepping through your journey and knowing that you're not alone if you don't want to be alone. And I hope you'll have questions and comments, and enjoy this time that we've got together. I'm going to try to keep them real short each morning, and even on into when we're doing interviews with professionals, problem solving, businesses that help other businesses. I'm going to be interviewing them, and I just want to cherish this time with you, and I hope you will appreciate that. Thanks.